think all of our millions of viewers have watched this, so I don't think we're spoiling anything. You haven't push pause right now.
What? Hi everyone, welcome back to another week of Raised on Sports, a father and daughter podcast. I'm Reagan, the daughter.
Hello everybody, thanks again for tuning in. I am Jason, the dad.
How are you doing, Dad? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while, even though I talked to you a week ago.
I know, we talked last Monday.
No, and we talked all weekend about sports, but I just feel like I haven't talked to you in person in a while.
A lot of it was texting, though. We were texting.
That's true.
We were talking.
That's true. What's new with you?
Good. Yeah, we had a good weekend. Kind of just laid low, which was nice. Finally had a Saturday off. Didn't have anything, which was fantastic. Took your mom out for a movie date Friday night. Saw a good movie. Maybe we can talk movies later. And watch some football, some great college games on Saturday. And yesterday went up and helped your grandpa with some stuff and church and dinner.
Riveting.
Yeah, riveting.
That sounds fun. I kind of had a mellow weekend too. I obviously watched all the games on Saturday in my pajamas again because we had an away game at Clemson. Sunday, I had tour guides training all day, which was really fun, and chapter late last night. This week is a heavy academic week, so I've been studying all day and I have so many projects, bunch of stuff to do. So I come home in 4 days, which I'm so excited about. So next week, our podcast is going to be together.
I can't wait. We got some fun stuff in store for everyone, for our millions of viewers. Fun stuff in store for you.
Exactly. Everyone get excited. We're going to be together in a week. Actually, we're going to be together in 3 days.
3 days. We'll keep this week short and sweet and talk some college football, some pro football, and maybe some movie talk and get you home, girl.
Yes, please. Let's start off with college football. And we got to start off with I'm wearing a sweatshirt today. Clemson Pitt game, because I was on the edge of my seat for about 7/8 of the game. So until the last play when Cade Klubnik ran a touchdown in, and you probably could have heard me scream. I was here on my couch in Clemson. You probably could have heard me scream from Pittsburgh.
Probably.
We were jumping on our couch, screaming, because I thought we lost that game.
Yeah, that was a great game. It was exciting. It was a game Clemson obviously definitely needed to win. They played really well. It was one of those games you just couldn't let slip away. And Pitt came down and kicked a go-ahead field goal. Had a 20-17 lead and a minute 30 to go. Let's go Tigers. And you're right. Cade Klubnik, that was his first true kind of Clemson moment. So one that will definitely be remembered. It was fantastic.
No, I'm for sure proud of him, especially because a lot of the O-line was hurt. And Wade Woodaz was out. Sammy Brown, our star freshman O-lineman, got ejected for targeting. Yep. Another O-lineman in the very first play got hurt and was taken out of the game. Yep. So it was all new guys he was with. And so he really took the reins and scored a touchdown at the very end, and I'm really happy for him.
No, they finished well. So they finished the ACC at 6-1, I believe, right?
Yes.
And, 6-1, and still a shot. They unfortunately lose the tiebreaker to both SMU and Miami, but at least they have a chance. So
yes, I know there is a chance, and now they're ranked 17th.
Well, the AP has them at 17. The official
had about 12.
Football comes tomorrow. Comes out tomorrow.
Oh, maybe it was a prediction I saw, but a prediction I saw they were at 12. So how the college football games are going, maybe we could have a chance. I hope for sure.
I don't know. It would be close, but it'd be fun.
Yeah. But on to the next, we have Oregon and Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Not Washington. It was a close game.
Great game. Yeah, actually, it was like those ugly, boring Big Ten games that we're used to watching, and that was Wisconsin's game plan. They said,
Yeah.
let's just make it ugly, and held Oregon to a few field goals, but Oregon pulled it out with the 16-13 win,
They were
and
down
that's
seven
exactly what a
quarter.
number one team does.
Yeah, they were down 7 points in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
They, like you said, they pulled it out, and that's what a number one team showed. Like, a win is a win. We've said that so many times on this podcast. That's all they had to do. And so they came back in the fourth quarter and scored 10
I think
points.
that win pretty much locks them into the playoffs as well. So they'll get themselves in the Big Ten championship, and then win or lose,
yeah,
they're
in. I mean, they're 11-0. So
good job, Oregon.
Yep. Next, we got Kansas and BYU. This was a huge upset. This was BYU's first loss. So now they're 9-1 and 6-1 in their conference, which Kansas was never really on my radar. I know we both picked BYU last week in our picks, and they lost. I don't know. It was at BYU.
Yeah.
We all said after their game against Utah that they were going to come back. And they won, but it was a rough win. They were going to come back to their home stadium and just kill Kansas.
Yeah.
That did not happen.
I think if we had made our picks on Friday, I think I would have leaned towards Kansas. Something was just one of those feelings about those games. That showed BYU coming off a very close and dramatic win against rival Utah. They have a game at home. Kansas coming in. Kansas had just beaten Iowa State. So they came in ready to play, and yes, definitely knocked them off. And now BYU and Boise kind of will flip in the rankings, I think. And
yeah,
BYU better watch out. They've got a very tough game this week at Arizona State. So they better get things back together.
It'll be interesting to see how they come back from this, and if they have a chance for sure to be in the playoffs, but how the kind of decision makers will come back from this one.
Well, they have to beat Arizona State. They beat Arizona State in the championship game, and then that might get them in. But I don't know. Don't overlook the Sun Devils.
I agree. We'll talk about that later when we make our picks. But the fourth game we're going to talk about is the Tennessee-Georgia game, which obviously we had to talk about. The biggest game of the weekend. It was tied at half. I was nervous. I didn't know. I picked Georgia.
I picked Tennessee.
But Georgia won 31-17.
Yeah, it was the Georgia, I think, that we all expected to see late in the fourth quarter. Just one of those close tied games at half. And Georgia's coming out saying we are not losing, pretty much knowing that if they lost, they would be out of the playoffs, and they stepped up like Georgia usually does. So they will definitely jump up in those standings, and it'll be interesting to see how far Tennessee drops.
I saw this stat that said the Bulls defense hadn't allowed more than 19 points all season. And then Carson Beck and his offense kind of allowed that to happen. They scored 31 points. I think after Carson Beck's performance last week against Ole Miss, he kind of came back. There was kind of some controversial talk about how he is not as good as he is made out to be. And had a bunch of interceptions, had a bunch of mess ups. But this game, I don't want to say it was almost perfect for him, but he had a very good game and kind of shut down all of those haters.
Yeah, he did. He had a great game, and it was well coached. Great environment. Great environment down in Georgia, Athens, night game. Place was rocking. So a lot of fun. Good for them.
For sure. Can't beat it.
We did have a few other exciting football games this weekend. You had Colorado beating Utah. So Colorado really making a push for their chance in the championship. You had Arizona State had an upset of number 16 Kansas State. Arizona, which
is interesting for what we were just talking about, how they're playing BYU coming up, because they're on a roll. And then New Mexico upset number 18 Washington State.
Washington State, yeah.
So these kind of teams in the AP poll are getting knocked out, which is interesting in the last few weeks of the college football season.
Yeah, I think Colorado's the team to that dark horse team to kind of keep your eye on. Just don't forget about them. They are playing well. They have the Heisman candidate and Travis Hunter, and they're playing really well.
I think another one to point out is Boise is kind of under the radar right now. People are talking about it, but are not talking about how good they are with another Heisman candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I blanking on his name? What's his name?
Ashton Jeanty.
Ashton Jeanty. There we go. I was going to say like Gentry. No, Jeanty.
Yeah.
So that's another kind of dark horse that is new in this.
Yeah, I think they're going to make it to the Mountain West Championship game, and they should be favored to win. Yep. And if they win that, they're going to not only get themselves into the playoffs, they're going to be one of those bye teams, I believe.
Yeah, so that will be interesting. I'm excited for the playoffs. We only have a couple weeks left of the actual regular season. So bowl games, playoffs are coming up, and I'm excited.
Coming around the corner. We also had a great Sunday of NFL football.
I agree.
A lot of exciting games there. You had Kansas City Chiefs getting their first loss of the year. Actually, first loss in 18 games. Haven't lost in December of last year. So congrats to the Buffalo Bills. But I did see a good little comment after the game. Both Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen had made. They said, you know what, this is great that we won, but this game doesn't mean anything. It really only counts in the playoffs. So both of them felt like they answered the questions in the media correctly, and sure, they don't want to lose, but Patrick Mahomes.
They'll match up again in the playoffs. I think these are two huge Super Bowl contenders, and I'm happy for the Buffalo Bills. They're kind of on their way up, which is exciting for them, and everyone's wanting the Chiefs to lose. Everyone is just out for them. So I like this little competition going on, and I think this won't be the last time we see them match up against each other.
You had the Los Angeles Chargers, my team, win a very exciting game against Bengals on the Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Bengals with a huge comeback, and in typical fashion, Chargers were ready to blow it again, but something different. That's what makes me real happy about the Chargers this year with Coach Harbaugh. It's just something different.
I was going to say, what do you think about Coach Harbaugh, like after leaving Michigan?
Phenomenal. Love him. Absolutely love him. He's a player's coach. He gets players to give their maximum effort, and the guys like him. And the relationship he has with Justin Herbert is crazy. So
I agree. What else do we have? Lions, the Jaguars.
Oh, destroyed them. Yeah, Packers block a game-winning field goal by the Bears.
Oh, yep. Is that an upset?
No. Well, I mean, it was at Chicago.
The Bears are good.
Bears haven't beaten them in the last 9 tries, so you kind of thought this was the chance, and here they are lining up for the game-winning field goal and another block. So
I know. I was watching. Yeah, I was next to one of my friends who's a big Ravens fan, like glued to his phone watching this game. But yeah, they kicked a field goal.
Yeah, they kicked 6 field goals.
Oh, 6 field goals.
At 18 points, 6 field goals for the win. That's all you need.
Didn't score a touchdown.
No touchdowns needed for the Steelers.
Well, good for them.
I've got the field goal kicker on my fantasy team, so that's all good. Good.
It was a fun week for NFL, and that's just kind of getting started. But we do have to give our picks for this coming week of college football. We're going to start off with Army, or actually, let's backtrack. What did we get last week?
So our records from picks last week, Reagan went 4-1. Her only loss being BYU, and me, Dad, went 3-2 because I picked Tennessee in the upset. So it's okay. You caught one on me, but I'll make up for it.
You're not in front of your whiteboard again. We need to.
I know. I need to update.
I need to catch up. It's okay. I'm going to catch up with these picks 100%. So let's start it off.
What do we got?
Army and Notre Dame are playing, which is, I mean, I feel like Notre Dame's kind of rivals with everyone, but this is a good rivalry that, like,
this is a good one.
They always play each other. It's at Yankee Stadium. Army is now ranked 18th.
Yep.
And Notre Dame's at 6th.
Yeah.
Army's undefeated, And Notre Dame's 9-1, and they lost to that horrible team that we're not talking about.
No, we don't talk about that.
But yeah, what are you picking, Dad?
I think this will be a fantastic game. Army's got a terrific quarterback who can run, who can throw. I think it's really cool that they're playing in Yankee Stadium, an iconic venue. You're definitely going to have the military personnel out and supporting their team. That Notre Dame and their fans will travel, so it should be a great environment. It's a night game. Mm-hmm. I mean, the heart is picking Notre Dame, but I also got to say, Notre Dame is a better team, and they're playing really well right now. Riley Leonard is now throwing the ball for touchdowns. We all know that he can run, use his feet, but now he's throwing the ball all over the field. So it'll be a close one, but give me Notre Dame. Give me the Irish.
All right. I am also picking Notre Dame, but I don't think it's going to be a close one. I think Notre Dame is the better team. I think Notre Dame should win. I think Notre Dame is going to win. Army hasn't played anyone that notable to take on Notre Dame. I don't know. I think this is an easy pick for me. And it's not just because I'm a Notre Dame fan. It's because they're the better team.
I'm a little nervous, but I'll take them as well.
Okay, perfect. Next we have the Big Ten matchup. Everyone's been looking forward to. We've been talking about this the last 2 to 3 weeks on this podcast. Indiana against Ohio State, because Indiana is 10-0 and they're 7-0 in their conference, and then Ohio State is 9-1, 6-1 in their conference, which they lost to Oregon, who is now number 1. And they also have Michigan in a couple weeks, but they're not as good. Yeah. Okay, this is such a hard one because I think it can go either way. Throughout the season, I've been questioning Indiana's legitimacy, and I thought in the beginning Ohio State was going to take it all. With that being said,
I hear a but.
I am going to pick Indiana.
All right.
Just because I want them to win. I think this is the game of the season. This determines so much for Indiana, and actually both.
Sure.
I don't know I'm trying to think if they would be in the college playoffs if they lose. It all depends.
I think it depends on maybe how the game is played. Let's say if Ohio State really just rolls over them and Indiana is not impressive at all, it's still going to be really hard to leave a one-loss Big Ten team out of the playoffs.
Exactly.
We're letting two-loss teams, maybe even a 3-loss team in. So I think win or lose, both these teams are in. Yeah. It's just a matter of getting yourself to the championship game and getting that bye. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm picking Indiana just because I want them to win. I want them to be 11-0 against Ohio State. Sorry,
that's a great pick. I think everybody out there is thinking Ohio State. It's at home. Indiana really hasn't played anybody really tough. But something about that team, something about their coach, the way he gets those kids to play for him. I would love to go opposite you, and that way you and I can have a little smack talk of a battle, but I'm picking Indiana too.
Okay, perfect.
Just something about them, about the team. And because I hate Ohio State. Sorry.
And we just want Indiana to win.
We just want Indiana to win.
They're the underdog. Come on.
That's okay.
You gotta rip the underdog.
Let's go Hoosiers.
Go Hoosiers, for sure. Next, we already talked about this earlier in this podcast, but BYU, ASU. ASU is now ranked 21, and BYU is ranked at 14 after their loss to Kansas. So it is a ranked matchup. Yep. Another one in the Big 12, and it's at ASU. Oh, do you want me to pick first?
Sure.
Okay, I think BYU.
I know who I'm picking, so.
Are you picking BYU?
You won't sway me.
Okay, well, I'm picking BYU because hopefully, after their loss last week, they come back with a fire under their butt and go back down to Arizona and just beat those Sun Devils.
Devils.
And I think, they're the better team. I haven't really kept my eye on ASU this season. I know they've made some good wins. They beat Utah earlier in the season, and they beat Kansas State, which we just talked about. I think it's going to be a great game, but I think BYU's a better team.
All right, so here we go. We've got a difference. I just think something with BYU isn't clicking. I think they've exposed some of their weaknesses. I think teams are catching on to them. They got very lucky winning that game at Utah, and then getting beat by Kansas last week just exposed a lot of things. So I think Arizona's hot right now. They're playing well, very well coached, and I am picking the Sun Devils. I'm going Arizona State.
All right, competition. I'll keep my eye on that game. Do you know what time it's at?
I think it's a night game. I believe it's a night game down in Arizona.
Oh, so I might be asleep.
You might be.
Hopefully I'll be home. We can watch these games together, Dad, this weekend. I won't be asleep. I'll be on West Coast time.
Love it. You might be asleep, but you might be asleep in my couch.
That's true. But I get to be home. Okay, next game, the final game that we're picking today is the Colorado-Kansas game.
Okay.
Colorado is 16.
Yep.
Kansas obviously just beat BYU. Crazy game. Big 12 matchup, another one.
Kansas do it twice in a row?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Colorado's going to win this game. I think I picked all of the favorites.
You did.
Actually, no, not Indiana. But I do think Colorado's going to win this game. I don't think Kansas can do it twice in a row, even though it is at Kansas. Like we said, Colorado's kind of that dark horse, great team that no one has their eye on that's going to sneak up on everyone. And every game is so crucial for Colorado. They need this win.
Yes.
Kansas needs this win to be bowl eligible. Colorado needs this win to make the playoffs.
Yes.
So I think it's a lot more on the line for Colorado, and they're going to win.
It's very good analysis, Reagan. I'm proud of you. Yes, I agree. Colorado definitely needs this a lot more and has a lot more to play for. So I think, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, Deion Sanders leading the way. I think they go into Kansas and they beat them. So I will pick Colorado as well.
All right. Those are our picks for the week. And now that, honestly, Dad, we talk so much sports, but one thing that we love doing together, honestly, before COVID, we would do it a lot more, is we'd always go to the movies together, see random-ass movies that, honestly, I didn't know what I was watching before I walked in. My dad would just buy the tickets and say, let's go. Yep. So what have you been seeing lately? Like, what's your favorite shows, movies? Been to the movie theater lately?
Yeah, I love talking entertainment. I know you and I love talking our sports, but I think all of a sudden we're a very big entertainment family. Yes. We love going to movies. We love going to plays. We love going to concerts, and we love binge watching our favorite shows on TV. So I did take your mom out on a little date the other night, and we went and saw a movie called A Real Pain. It was the Jesse Eisenberg and
never heard of it.
Movie. Really good, really good. Give it an A-.
Would you recommend to me? Like, would I like it?
Yeah, it's very dramatic. It has a lot of history. It's about two long-lost cousins who kind of reunite on a trip to Poland to visit their grandmother had passed away, and when she passed away, she left money for them to travel to see her country and where she's from. So it's a lot of Jewish reference, a lot of Nazi reference, the camps and Holocaust. So it had a couple tear moments, but very well acted. Great movie. Really good.
All right. Okay. Maybe I will go watch when I'm home.
Yeah.
I saw, Dad.
What'd you say?
I saw Smile 2 in the theaters with my roommates the other day, And I'm not a big horror movie kind of girl. I like the classic. I like a good jump scare. I like suspenseful, but I wouldn't say I like horror movies. And I never saw Smile 1, but I went to see Smile 2 with my roommates. Dad, that was probably the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life. I would not recommend that to anyone. It was so gory. People who like horror movies say that is like one of the best horror movies they've seen in a long time.
Really? Okay.
Like it's very well produced and very intriguing. Like I loved the storyline. Other than that, holy moly, it was terrifying. Like I was texting you during this movie, Dad, and I couldn't even like focus. He thought I was drunk in my text because I was overwhelmed and there was so much going on and I was just tripping out from this movie. But so if you like horror movies, recommend. If you don't like horror movies, do not recommend to anyone.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I'll be going to see that one. But I will tell you what we will go see when you get home.
What?
Wicked.
Oh, I am excited for that.
Yes.
I'm very, very excited for that. I always loved Wicked. We grew up going to the musical in LA, and I've seen that probably 5 times or more. Yep. So I'm excited to see Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo,
like that. Yeah, no,
and it's hyped up a lot, so it'll be interesting.
When we were at the movies the other night, that's everything wicked everything.
Okay,
so, wicked popcorn in the concession stand. So
all right. Well, we'll get some wicked popcorn, and when we go see it next Monday. What about we talked about last podcast, Outer Banks?
Oh, did you?
I finally finished it.
Okay,
and I know you loved it. I liked it.
You liked. Okay.
I wouldn't give it. Oh my gosh, I love it. But I was really sad with the ending. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
I think all of our millions of viewers have watched this, so I don't think we're spoiling anything.
Hopefully they've seen it on TikTok or watched it, but
if you haven't, push pause right now.
Push pause. Go to like a minute later.
JJ dies.
What? Yeah, I was so sad. I'm like, why didn't they just end it there? I don't need another season without JJ. I love JJ in the show. Bro, why did they have to make him die?
I don't think I knew that there was going to be a season 5 when I was watching that last half of season 4.
Really?
I remember seeing something that they were doing it, but I think what I saw, I was thinking that was season 4 and not an additional season. So I kept thinking, how are they going to end this thing? And all of a sudden they killed him. Okay, but
also I hated the way he died. Like I feel like it was so
stabbed by his dad. I don't know. But
it was just like, really, if his dad was going to kill him, you really kill him by stabbing him?
Yeah.
Like that, come on. I feel like they could have done something more creative. I don't know. It just really made my heart break. I'm really sad that JJ's gone.
Great.
And no one was around except Key when he died.
I know. Fantastic characters, great story. I know the treasure hunting kind of gets a little corny, but
yeah,
I like it. And now you know it's going to be all about revenge in season 5. Probably in about 2 years, we got to wait. So
I know. But I think that's kind of it. That's all we got for you guys today.
All
it's
right.
a shorter episode.
Short, but that's okay. We'll regroup this week. You get you home, and
yes, sir.
We'll have to do this together next week.
Oh my gosh. I'm excited. So next week, get excited. We'll be together. But this is all we have for this week on Raised on Sports. I'm Reagan.
I'm Jason.
And bye, guys.
Thanks for watching.